After winning independence from Britain, the United States was first governed by the Articles of Confederation. But this system was weak. The national government couldn't collect taxes, enforce laws, or settle disputes between states. Each state acted almost like its own country. By the mid-1780s, it was clear this system was failing and needed to be replaced. In 1787, leaders from across the nation met in Philadelphia to create a new plan, a new government, one strong enough to hold the young country together. Their work became the U.S. Constitution, a written document that set the rules for how the federal government would operate. It was designed to unite the states and protect citizens' rights. The founders, when creating the Constitution, wanted a federal government that was strong enough to lead but limited enough to protect liberty. They feared that if too much power was placed in one person's hands, the nation could end up with another king or dictator. To prevent this, they carefully designed a government system based on separation of powers and built-in checks and balances. This system divided the government's power among 3 branches, with each branch given its own duties and clear limits on its authority. The first branch, the legislative branch, also known as Congress, was given the responsibilities to create the nation's laws, represent both the people and the states, manage government spending, and make sure no branch of government gained too much power. The second branch of the U.S. government is the executive branch. It is led by the president, whose duties is to enforce the nation's laws, command the military, and manage foreign affairs. Thirdly, the judicial branch, which is made up of the Supreme Court and other federal courts. Its main duty, to determine and explain the meaning of the laws, and decide whether those laws follow the Constitution. This structure of 3 branches with divided duties made sure that no single branch or person could gain too much power. Each branch could also check the others. For example, Congress makes the laws, but the president can veto them, and the Supreme Court can declare them unconstitutional. These built-in checks and balances were designed to protect the people by keeping government's power separated and under control. The Constitution also introduced federalism, a system that divides power between the national government and the state governments. This idea fixed the problems of the Articles of Confederation, where states held nearly all the power. Under the new system, the federal government handled national issues like defense, foreign policy, and trade, while states managed education, elections, and local laws. Some powers, such as collecting taxes or building roads, were shared. To prevent conflict, the Constitution states that federal law is the supreme law of the land. This comes from the Supremacy Clause in Article 6, which says that if a state law disagrees with a federal law, the federal law wins. Although the Constitution is one of the most important documents in history, it is surprisingly short, only about 4,500 words, or roughly 400 pages. Despite its length, the founders made it difficult to change. To amend it, 2/3 of Congress and 3/4 of the states must agree, making any changes a lengthy process and very difficult to achieve. The framers made the Constitution hard to alter so it would remain a stable and a lasting foundation. If it were easy to amend, the government could swing wildly with every disagreement or trend, creating chaos and unfair laws. Even though the Constitution was built to last, many believed something important was missing: a clear list of individual rights. Some delegates, when creating the Constitution, thought that it already protected freedom by limiting government power But others, called anti-federalists, disagreed. They worried the new government could still become too powerful and threaten people's liberties. To gain their support with passing the Constitution, many of the framers promised to add those protections later. About 4 years later, they kept that promise by adding the first 10 amendments, known as the Bill of Rights. These amendments guaranteed essential freedoms such as speech, religion, and the press, helping earn the trust of the American people and completing the nation's new structure of government. The Constitution became the blueprint for American freedom, a bold experiment in balancing power and protecting liberty. More than 2 centuries later, its principles still shape the nation and inspire democracies around the world.